I've decided to become a guru, but it's not because I want to scam as much people as I can. It's actually something completely different. So in this quick video, I want to talk a little bit more about why I started my mentorship program, what the mission and vision behind Brand Scale is. And I'll start off the video by saying that I didn't launch a course or some info product or something. It's just a coaching program for people that are doing at least 20K a month or at least have some experience with a store, did some revenue before, and now they want to scale their business to 6 figures and beyond. So when I was first starting out with my e-commerce journey, I pretty much wanted to have like a lot of brands running. And I think it's the same case for most of you guys as well, because you want to be a serial entrepreneur, right? You see all the gurus left and right talking about how they build so many successful businesses. And that was, the starting point. But, once you have a brand up and running, and I'm not just talking about a store for, pump and dump products, just making quick cash out of it, but actually running a proper business, you quickly realize that it's almost impossible to have a lot of brands up and running at the same time if they're not at least in the same niche, or they're not similar in terms of content creators and people that can operate it. And also, if you haven't reached a certain point of profit, you cannot hire the best operators so that you only spend like 2 to 3 hours per week on the brand. And a lot of people think that you can just, look at your ads for a few hours per week and be completely good with it. Most of the times it's not right, because, there's a competitor that is watching what you do and they're full-time on it. So long term, they'll overtake you, they'll, level up their game in terms of content, and they can rule you out the competition. So you actually have to dedicate a lot of time in, thinking of new concepts for your brand to actually expand it. So pretty much, to get back to the point, I realized that I cannot run and be the CEO of 5 different companies at the same time, but I still wanted to have this, cross-niche experience. And I was, looking at different opportunities that could kind of give me that experience without fucking up my focus. Otherwise, you would run 5 stores, and I used to do that, but it didn't perform that well, because, as a lot of people say, the jack of all trades is the master of none. I pretty much wanted to focus on one single business, but that allowed me to have a lot of different projects within it that I can help out and scale. And working directly with people who are running those stores, it was the best way to do it. I'm not doing this stuff because I want to just cash out from e-commerce or something. It was because I wanted to have a lot more experience in a lot of different niches without actually having to run those stores. Because if you think about it, you have to run customer support, you have to source creatives, you have to do all sorts of different things when you're starting a new store that is not very efficient for your time and money, at least in the midterm. There's people who built amazing portfolios of brands and they own them completely, and they also run them internally, but I didn't have the team and the resources to do so. So the best way for me to build that foundation was to start working with a lot of entrepreneurs, and through coaching I can do that. And right now, the way I build the mentorship program is I have one-on-one calls with every single student 2 times per week. And it's freaking cool, because I can see firsthand what's going on with those brands without having to actively manage them. So I'm exposed to all the problems, to all the headaches, to all the issues that are going on, and I can be there to solve them. So I'm still solving a shit ton of problems, but I have a lot more leverage because I'm working directly with the entrepreneur who solves that problems and implements what I'm gonna tell them. The reason, the deep reason why I wanna do this coaching thing is not just because I want to make a lot of money. Sure, I want to make a lot of money, right? And I will definitely make a lot of money doing so, because the model is scalable. But you can gain so much more experience and knowledge about e-commerce from doing coaching, like proper coaching, compared to running all those stores at the same time. Not only because you have a lot more focus within your business, because your business is built upon working with a lot of different people in a lot of different niches, but also because you have the mind space and you're not, emotionally affected that much when a certain things doesn't do well with some of the projects. And don't get me wrong, if one supplier fucks up one of my clients, I'm equally as triggered and as angry as they are. And I can go to China and you know, people if they do something wrong, but you kind of have a lot more objective thinking about all the different projects that you're managing. Whereas if, for example, your payment processing goes down and half of your brands are running based off of it, you pretty much have half of your business killed, and it's much harder to have, you know, objective decision making. And last but not least, I just love talking to people and showing people my knowledge and people actually appreciating what I tell them. So part of giving very good advice is actually, you know, people paying for it, because, you know, always when you're getting a mentorship program or a coaching program, you always want to get the most ROI out of it, right? And that was definitely the case for me. And I paid like more than 25K in different coaching programs. So there's just a level of commitment, especially when you're paying a high price, that you want to get the most out of it. Every one of you has got a friend who was in a tough situation and you actually gave them very good advice, but since because it was free, they didn't listen, and then they paid for advice, paid for a coaching program or whatever, and they actually heard the same shit and actually implemented it just because they paid. So, you know, there's a commitment element to that. And as I said, I've paid more than 25K in different programs throughout the years. So I knew what the biggest disadvantages were, right? I was not getting a lot of, you know, individual attention. There was not a lot of accountability in those programs. So pretty much the gap that I'm trying to solve with my mentorship program is the level of service and the level of care that I wanted to receive as a client. I've been on both sides, right? So I know that I personally wanted to have someone, you know, track my progress directly, help me in my specific situation, with my specific brand, especially in this period where you're not making that crazy amount of money to hire the best people to do stuff for you, but you're also not a complete beginner, so that you're, you know, not wasting time on group calls, waiting for people to ask beginner questions and stuff like that. So it was very frustrating to wait for 3-4 hours in group calls just to ask one specific question, when there was a ton of guys before that just asking for beginner stuff that can be answered within a few minutes on a Loom video or on a, I don't know, like a course video. This is pretty much what I'm trying to help people to get from 5 figures per month, you know, not doing stable profits, to actually running a lean brand, doing multiple 6 figures per month, and then potentially sell the brand. And why am I doing this? Because I fucking did it with my brand. I saw the growth curve. I was feeling fucking alone in a lot of those periods, even though I had like different coaches and different mentors in different programs. And I think I found the way to have a good compromise between, you know, running a lean brand, so, you know, not having to hire a shit ton of people to run it for you, and also having very good margins, having the long-term potential, and, you know, having a lot of free time to do whatever you want. So this is pretty much the stuff that I'm teaching, and as I said, I just try to solve as many problems as I had when I was a client of coaching programs. And it's just the thing that I wanted to have someone build it for me. But as I said, back then there was nothing on the market that was like this. So I just decided to build it for you guys. That's not, you know, said in a way to promote it or something. I already have several clients. I'm not gonna be accepting a ton of people every month. The goal is to keep things very, you know, very individual to every single client. And treat them properly. So I won't scale up the program if I'm not 100% or 150% sure that we have the systems and processes to do so without it breaking and without the clients, you know, being happy and leaving bad reviews and overall being not satisfied with the program, right? So you might have already seen the testimonial video with one of my top students, Rasmus. He pretty much did more than 2 million in sales in just over 1 year. He's selling one single product. It's not even a high ticket product, right? But his margins are really good. I think on average he's doing like 20-25% net margins, which at high scale is kind of hard to achieve, I'm not gonna lie. So the goal with this is to just create more success stories, because honestly those people are really cool. I enjoy talking with them daily. I just want to provide this knowledge to as many people as I can, because some people found it valuable, so I might as well do it for you guys. So if you're a business owner who's doing at least 20K a month to 100K a month and you want to scale to multiple six figures per month, you can check out the link below the video. There should be a link somewhere to schedule a call with me. But yeah, I'm trying to be 100% transparent with my coaching, with my brand and everything on this YouTube channel, and pretty much make scaling simple for everybody. So I really appreciate you joining me on this journey. Click subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. A lot of good videos are coming up soon. Thank you so much for watching, and see you on the winning side. Bye.